The following program is video supplemental instruction. VSI is brought to you by the Teaching Center, UF's Learning Support Center, www.teachingcenter.ufl.edu.
Question number 13 wants us to figure out what are the spectator ions in the following reaction. So it gives us K2SO4, which is aqueous, plus calcium iodide, CaI2, also aqueous, and it's going to yield calcium sulfate, which is CaSO4 solid, plus 2 potassium iodide aqueous. Okay, so there's two different ways to look at this type of question. The first one is you can, actually there's a few different ones. You could do a net ionic equation, or one way a lot of students like to do this is they like to look at the answer choices. So let me write the answer choices down for you on the board. Anytime you are asked to find spectator ions, the spectator ions can never, ever be part of your solid. Because when we have the potassium with the iodine goes together to form potassium iodide, and the calcium goes with the sulfate to form calcium sulfate, it leaves us as a solid and then the potassium iodide, which is K plus and I minus. These ions have nothing to do with what is happening with the overall reaction in order to form our product, which is calcium sulfate solid. So, judging by this, we could already see a lot of students will go through and say, okay, well, I know these are aqueous, so we have potassium ions floating around and they're hitting different iodine ions. So these are spectator ions and they're not contributing to the final product. So essentially, we could go through and say, well, we knew answer choice 5 is our answer. There's potassium ions and there's iodine ions in aqueous solutions, and they have nothing to do with what the final product is. But you could also go through and say, we did know that potassium was going to be in the answer, and we did know that iodine was. But we knew that calcium could not be, because it's contributing in the final product, and so is sulfate. So answer choice number 4 has sulfate. We get rid of that. Answer choice number 3 has calcium. Answer choice number 2 has sulfate, and answer choice number 1 has calcium. Therefore, when you're doing a spectator ion questions, when your ions are floating around in aqueous solution, these two are the only possible spectator ions.
The Teaching Center, UF's Learning Support Center, www.teachingcenter.ufl.edu.